When we lead with love, we truly always win. This is especially hard to apply when somebody is stressing and pressing us, mistreating us, abusing us. It is really hard to respond with love. I was just on a live this morning where another content creator here on this app was live, and he was speaking about these higher concepts and these ideals, and he was talking about how everything in your life is always you pushed out, and that we all are one because we are all source consciousness or love. And this troll came into the comments and was trolling him. And I've had trolls come into my lives before. It's extremely hard to know how to react. I usually just block them. But I was very surprised at the way that this content creator handled it. He basically said, "I'm not going to block you, brother. I know that your pain and your hatred and your trolling right now is the same as me. I've been there before. I've had that happen where I got stuck in a phase or a space of anger and of hatred. And I understand where you're coming from because I've been there. And I am not going to block you because my love for you could be actually the catalyst that changes you, that helps you to see that it's better to be in love and it's better to dwell in love." And so he didn't block him. And this troll tried to make a couple comments after that, but then just disappeared. And so that was proof positive to me that when we respond with love, even with people who we deem in our society to be the worst of the worst, people that just hate for no reason, people that come on and troll somebody who's trying to do good and bring hate, whenever you counteract hate or negativity with love, love always wins. Love is always the most powerful, and it will literally rid you of your problem. It is the answer to your problem. And so I thought about this more and more. How do I respond in love to people that stress and press me and that continuously stress me out and hurt me? And as I thought about it more and more, I came to the response that it is with unattachment. And unbothered is a cute way to talk about or to designate being unattached. Because when we are attached to something, it is a call for self-healing. It is a blueprint for us of where we need to go deeper. So hear me out as I talk about this as to how it relates to when people mistreat us in our world. When people mistreat me in my world and make it their life's purpose to stress and press me, it's really easy for me to react because it's hurtful behavior. But if I was unattached to their behavior, if I was unattached to their treatment of me, it wouldn't hurt me. It wouldn't cause the same response that I'm allowing it to cause. So what this means is when somebody stresses and presses me and I have a reaction that is negative and I spiral for a day, it's because they're connecting with something in me that doesn't feel worthy. They are showing me that there's a part of me that doesn't feel worthy, that needs some self-healing. Because if I didn't have that thing within me, what they do to me would not hurt me because I would remain unattached to their behavior. I could understand intellectually, for the people that like to ruminate and overthink, you're just like me. I could understand intellectually that they're hurting me because they're in a place of pain. They're lashing out at me because they don't feel good about themselves. Somebody's behavior always speaks to them and their self-concept. It never really has anything to do with you. It has to do 100% with them. So if somebody is mistreating you and stressing and pressing you, it's because there's something in them that is hurting, that is in pain. And if we can understand that, then we can go forward and not allow their behavior to affect our life. Because last night I had this happen where somebody really hurt me and stressed me, and I allowed it to ruin my whole day. And then I woke up this morning and nothing had changed about that situation. They hadn't changed their behavior. There hadn't been some conclusion. The only thing that changed was me, because I worked through the emotion and I let it go and I got back to a place of homeostasis. And so our call as humans in this earthly experience is to continuously come back to ourselves. We are always coming back to ourselves and learning more about ourselves. And when people hurt us and we have a reaction, that's because we are attached to them and what they're mirroring back to us. There's a part of us that is feeling like we deserve that treatment. If we stay in a bad relationship, we stay in something. It's because we are attached to something deep within that resonates with that treatment. And so really it empowers us. It is not victim blaming. It empowers us because now we have the ability to go within and figure out what parts of us are still attached to their behavior, to how it's making us feel. Because if we were unattached, then we wouldn't allow it to hurt us. It wouldn't hurt us. We may have a requisite response of shock and oh, that doesn't feel good. But then we would realize that it's about them and their feelings about themselves, and we would move along. We would keep it moving and get back to a place of homeostasis and self-love. Now, people are going to say, well, that's just giving people a right to just hurt you. That's you taking on all the blame and allowing people to misbehave and be terrible to you in the world. That doesn't make sense. So I'm going to add this caveat. We are unattached to how people treat us with boundaries and self-love. Those two things are leading with love. When we have boundaries and we have self-love, well, first of all, we have boundaries because we have self-love. But when we have boundaries and we protect ourselves, and then we come back to a place of self-love, i.e. when we're triggered, we go deep, we figure out why we're triggered, what our attachments are to that situation, and we love ourselves, we heal ourselves from the inside out. And then we have requisite boundaries around allowing people to continue to mistreat us. So we get out of a bad situation. We speak up and we open our mouths when somebody's hurting us, and we stand up for ourselves. That's not from a place of contention or hate or wanting to spread negativity in the world. We do that, we set the boundary because we love ourselves and because we have radical self-love and respect. And so when somebody is continuously insulting our soul, we stand up for ourselves, i.e. boundaries. But we don't do it from a place of wanting to inflict pain or violence on another person. We do it because at the end of the day, it always comes back to love, and self-love is the highest form of love. We have self-respect for ourselves by setting boundaries, and then we create a safe place around us to love and to be loved. Continuously healing and going inward when other people stress and press us, and figuring out why we're attached to that, or why we're being mirrored back to us something deep within that calls for healing. So it is self-love, boundaries, and non-attachment, and that's how we move through the world. And when we can do that, that allows us to love other people, even the ones that hurt us. Even the guy that dropped into this creator's live and was being a troll, he still responded with love, which sent the troll away. And who knows if the troll did any introspective work? That's not really any of our concern or our business. But we were true to ourselves and true to our own self-concept, where we lead with love, because love always is more powerful than hate. So what I can do now to the people that hurt me continuously, that I have to have contact with, is I stand up for myself when boundaries are crossed, because I have radical self-love. When they do something that triggers me, even though I've laid boundaries, I observe what's happening. And if I feel triggered and it's hurting me, I allow myself to have the human experience of feeling it and processing it, but I don't react to it. Processing an emotion and reacting to an emotion are two very different things. We don't have to react to process it. So I observe what's happening. I observe that I'm triggered. I don't react. And I then go inward, and I use that trigger as a blueprint for my own deeper healing. And then after I have done that, I can now exhibit love back to them. I can show love to them, to the person that hurts me, because I have already done all the requisite work, i.e. boundaries to protect my space, and inner healing to decrease attachment so that they can no longer hurt me. And then I can give them love back. Or if they're an unsafe person to be around, I can send them love from afar. I can send them well wishes. I don't have to sit and ruminate about how terrible they are and judge them and talk to other people about it, because then I'm just perpetuating the harm over and over again. I can ignore the behavior, not give it energy so that it doesn't perpetuate in my life. And when I start to feel triggered by them or by their actions towards me, I use that as a call to self-heal, go inward, and level up. That is alchemy. That is leading with love. And that is being the most powerful person in the room, no matter what somebody else does to you, no matter what your 3D reality looks like and how people are treating you. Because as you apply these virtues, pretty soon what people do to you just won't bother you anymore, because you have healed up and leveled up so much that they don't have that power anymore. They don't have that access to you. You are unbothered, you are unattached, and you are leading with love.